Just because a deal has high projected returns, right? It doesn't mean that it's a good investment. That's really important to think about and to understand. If you're only looking at the numbers, you might be walking into a bad deal. Let me show you how to look beyond just the projections, right? First, I want you to understand the business plan, because not all deals work the same way, so you have to be able to differentiate them. So think about a deal that you could potentially be investing in is something called a repositioning deal. So think about this deal as high risk, high reward. There's no cash flow up front. So if you invest in a deal like this, right, expect a long runway before you start seeing returns, because a lot has to be done to that investment, to that property, in order for you to start seeing returns. And then another one is to think about a value add strategy. So this is more moderate risk. You'll get some cash flow from the beginning, but it requires renovation and capital expenditures. So some of that cash flow is tied up in the beginning. And then the other investment is a stabilized asset. So think newer buildings, think lower risk, steady returns, and it's perfect for investors who want consistent income with less risk. So the question that I want to ask you, and I want you to think about as you're starting to invest, is what is your risk tolerance? The highest returns on paper, sometimes it doesn't mean that it's the right deal for you based on your risk profile, your risk tolerance. The next thing I want you to do is look at the property itself, right? If it's an older building, think that there could be hidden costs that you need to account for. So think, how old is the roof? Think HVAC, so your heating and AC, how old is that? And then think about plumbing. When was the last time that was changed, or even what are the wires made of? And then you also have to be thinking, were there any major renovations done in the last decade? Because if there wasn't any done, then you probably have to account for that. So along those lines, right, will you need a big budget for repairs that will then eat into your profits? You need to know that, or at least you need to be asking those questions. The best deals are the ones where you truly understand the risk. So not just the ones that promise this like large returns or the biggest returns, it's really understanding your risk. If you want to learn how to break down these deals like a pro and avoid bad investments, join me in my next upcoming live webinar where I talk about all these things. Tap the link in my bio to sign up. See you soon.